everyone and welcome back to another episode of TPG. Today we'll be talking about the events of yesterday. England versus Switzerland. Switzerland versus England. Overall, pretty average game, to be honest. I think even the Swiss were not as good as they could have been. Maybe that's due to us defensively being alright or what, I'm not quite sure. Their striker, Mbolo, caused a lot of problems. Obviously got their goal. Their wingers played well. I thought we done well at keeping Xhaka pretty quiet, considering he's normally their main sort of metronome, should we say. But overall, if we're going on England, still, yet again, not a completely fluid performance whatsoever. Slightly better in aspects. Again, we've moved Foden over. It kind of worked for 10-15. He was getting on the ball. He was sort of pinging it about. And then Switzerland sort of saw that, and the manager made a few tweaks and sort of forced him back a little bit. And once he went back a little bit, he was completely ineffective yet again. I like Foden. I do think he's a good player, but just because you're a good player doesn't necessarily mean you have to start for England, especially if it doesn't suit what England are trying to do. Personally, you play him or Bellingham. You don't play both, because neither one are wingers, and both of them want to be in the middle of that pitch. Yes, I think what could have helped Foden was a different type of striker. Maybe an Ollie Watkins. I'm not saying he's better than Kane, but maybe an Ollie Watkins would have helped. But at the end of the day, you've still got to play it yourself, and you've still got to put yourself in certain positions, which I don't think Foden really helped himself out a lot there. And if the rumours are true, he wanted to be subbed off because he didn't want to take a penalty. That's not great. But fair play to Trent, absolutely buried his penalty. I had no doubt for Trent. I thought he'd stick it top bins, and that's where he stuck it. I've been saying for a long time, I think Trent should start for England, but no, we keep playing Walker, who you could argue was at fault for the goal, but that's minimal argument, But the main reason we're here is we're to talk about the one and only Starboy, Mr. Saka. Once again, left wing, right wing back, full back, put him wherever you want. The boy will turn up. The boy is consistent, he's intelligent, he's direct, he wants to score, he wants to get involved. He's not afraid to take on his man over and over again. He went past his man 4 times in the first half. Every time he took him on, he went past him. And a couple of those cutbacks were where your striker should have been. Kane was nowhere to be seen. For whatever reason, he was nowhere to be seen. Whether he's jet lagged completely, like he's gone, you know what I mean? Not jet lag, but laggy. Maybe he's tired, maybe age is catching up on him. It's been a long season, but it's been a long season for a lot of them, so I don't really see that as an excuse. Maybe a Watkins would have been in there. But Saka's so consistent, mate. He's had so many people dig him out constantly for years, ever since that first Euros miss. Even his performance at the World Cup didn't stop people digging him out. And even now, after being England's Player of the Year for 2 years running, consistently turning up, on average, getting man of the match every 3 and a bit games, scoring goals, getting assists, making that right side his side, and he still gets dragged down. And players like Palmer, who's had a good season, suddenly they're above him in the pecking order. Suddenly Foden should play there, Palmer should play there, Bowen should play there, he should be dropped for Gordon. Come on, man, there's the disrespect on him for whatever reason. I mean, I can only think of a couple of reasons why you lot would want to disrespect him like that, but we won't get into that. But he's so good, man, honestly. Even when he scored, though, everyone was very slow to be pumped up from his goal. Like, he ran and everyone slowly sort of jogged over. He's equalised for us in the quarter-final in the last 5 minutes of the game, the last 10 minutes of the game. Be buzzing, be happy, be full on. if we keep getting him the ball, getting him in the right positions, he will make things happen. He will keep things ticking over. He will be our attack as he always is. Hopefully, there'll be no more silly calls, and I love Ian Wright, but there's no more silly calls from Ian Wright or any of the others to play him flipping left back. And then suddenly people like Rio, who last week wanted him dropped for Palmer, or Neville, who wanted him dropped, or all of these, suddenly they're like, yeah, he's England's most important player, and you know, there's a reason he's our best attacker. Hold on, you lot wanted him dropped. Why have you changed your tune now? Eh? These are so, they've got such a facade of support, but they're never actually there. It's embarrassing, really, and this is what I mean. Our English pundits are terrible. Terrible. And the half-time talk during the match yesterday was about how well Foden had done in the game. After the 15th minute, we didn't really see him. We've been begging and crying out for it. It was 0-0 and we hadn't had a shot on target. We were poor. Generically, for a decent period of the game, we was poor. It was individuals who stood out, but we was poor in general. But we are through. Okay, so I'll stop being negative, but we are through. Brilliant, great result. Netherlands Wednesday. Hopefully, with them being a little bit more attacking, a little bit more passy football, we should see a great game. And I think England can build on this. They're one game away from another European final. So let's get behind them. Come on England, come on the Lions, and let's see what we can do. Hopefully I'll see you Thursday or Friday with some even better news regarding the final. So let's big them up. Come on boys, and don't forget, Saka is the star boy. Always will be. Peace out.